Function or not a function? Let's start with ordered pairs. Look at your x values. If all of your x values are different when it comes to ordered pairs, then it is a function. Again, look at your ordered pairs. If any of your x values, always pay attention to your x values. If any of your x values are repeated, for example, like this -1, it is not a function. Tables. Look at your x values. If none of them are repeated, you are good. It is a function. In a table, look at your x values. If any of them are repeated, like this 3, it is not a function. Graphs are the easiest to tell if it's a function or not. You can use something called the vertical line test. But be careful, when doing the vertical line test, each new line is its own test. For example, I drew one vertical line and it hit one time. That is one test. Now, I'm going to start a new test. This is a new test. I hit my graph one time. Not 2 times. This is its own test and this is its own test. Each test, it hit one time. If I go again, in this test, I hit one time. It looks like it hit 3 times, but no. Each test, boom, hit it once. That is its own test. Second test, hit one time. Third test, hit one time. This is a function. Now, in this one, I drew one line, one test, and I hit twice. I started a new test and drew another line and I hit 1, 2 times. This is not a function because on each vertical line, I hit more than one time. Again, each line is its own test. So this test has 2 hits. This test has 2 hits, not a function. Mapping diagrams. Again, pay attention to your x or your domain. Each x value or each domain value should have one line coming off of it. That means it's a function. Here, this x value, this domain, this 5, has 2 lines coming off of it. That means it's not a function. That means I can write 2 ordered pairs for this. This has 5, 4 and 5, 5, meaning I would hit twice if I was to graph this. This is not a function. Now, using the information we just finished, let's take a look at these ordered pairs. We can list out the domain and range like this to help us. And we need to look at the domain, our x values, and as you can see, we have a repeated value. This is not a function. Taking a look at this set of ordered pairs, I've listed out the domain and range. Looking at the domain, they are all different. So yes, this is a function. All right, let's take a look at this mapping diagram. As you can see, this 8 has 2 values coming off of it, so this is not a function. Let's take a look at this mapping diagram. Looking down, this has 1, this has 1, this has 1, this has 1, this has 1. They all have one line coming off of it, so yes, this is a function. Let's take a look at this table. We need to look at our x values or our domain. -5 is being repeated, so this is not a function. Let's take a look at this table. Again, we need to look at our domain. none of the numbers are being repeated. So yes, this is a function. Okay, let's take a look at this graph. We need to test it with the vertical line test. Remember, each vertical line is its own test. So this was test number 1. It hit 1 time. Then I tested it again, right here. Again, test number 2, it only hit 1 time. On the third test, it hit 1 time. And on the fourth and final test that I did, it only hit 1 time. Since each of the tests only had 1 hit, yes, this is a function. Let's take a look at this graph. I tested this graph twice. On this first test, it hit 2 times. And on this second test, it hit 2 times. Since on each of the tests we had more than 1 hit, that means it is not a function.